Dr. Gyan, is it possible the students can do the project without the client,
Now,
only with the supervisor?
the student has to do the project with must have a supervisor as well as must have a client. Both should be there. Now, one question that can be asked is, can the two be the same person?
All right.
Now, it is not advisable to use the two as the same person, because the two aspects are different. But then there have been projects where the both have been the same, because sometimes you go to a IT division and the IT manager has the problem, and its problem is to solve his own problem, as well as is a person who is capable of supervising. So, as a result, he will help in both. So, in one way there is nothing wrong with it, because you meet the requirement of both sides to the same person.
Right.
But then you also must remember, the company run independently, you do your project independently. Now, sometimes some people goes overseas, get transferred, and various issues are there. Now, if the person changes the job, sometimes it is not possible to continue the same project, because the organization rules will prevent the individual to continue that problem in another environment, because he would have joined another competitors. Now, the supervisor changing a job won't be a problem, because he can still supervise. But when a client, your contact person changes, there are practical problems. There are cases where the organization have told you are not allowed to continue this project anymore. This has happened during the middle of the project. So, if you are unfortunate, you may face the same problem. Now, under such situations, we allow the candidate to inform us and give a justification and come up with a alternative client. But again, a client is important. Now, finding an alternative client means a client who have similar requirements. Now, if it is a library system, finding a similar requirement is not that difficult.
Right.
But again, you must remember that even you find a similar requirement, the new client may say, I don't like to do it this way. He will want in some other way. So, you have to find some alternative where the new client have some understanding that you are doing this as part of a learning process, not as a commercial project. And then you can say you will do as the project first. Maybe after end of the project, I will do some customization to meet your needs, so that you don't try to redesign and start from scratch to meet the new client, because you have to be practical with the time scale and try to fit into the new environment. So, whatever it is, you ultimately have to find an alternative client, and if this happened at the last moment and you don't have time to change the client, then you have to agree with the client to allow you to continue, although the client no longer requires it because of these changes. Another point is, like, this solution what you develop is, although it meets the real world requirement, is we are not expecting you to go to a level where client actually uses it. If the client actually uses it, it's a added plus point for you. That means the not only the one individual, the organization level, there is some acceptance, value for your work, and you have done a major achievement. But then a project, we don't expect to go to that level.
That what I think they have to select the project so that, as you said earlier, it must be useful.
Yeah, that's right.
So the having a client, the students can easily justify. So there's a usefulness.
Yeah, that's correct. So the like you find somebody who verifies or confirms the usefulness of your work. So if now supervisor also do something the guiding as well as he will appreciate your solution, but most of the time the supervisor is not a real user. But if the two are the same, then you are defending through one person's word, whereas when you have several people to support, then your defend also is more stronger. So so therefore it's good to have to separate the two. And again even if you go to a IT company and the two are going to be same, actually the manager can delegate some task to someone under him. So he do the supervision, and maybe one of his assistant become the client, or
Right.
so that you get multiple people involved, so that you also get more support, and which means you can do the project a little bit better. Now going back to what I was explaining with respect to the scope, now mention you may end up with this targeting only the implementing part of this hospital system, like a clinical administration or whatever. Now when you say the clinical administration, basically it involves wide variety of things, like it involves doctors, it involves various wards, it involves various theaters which perform operations and things, it involves the support staff, the actual patients, you get outside people as consultants or visiting doctors and things like that. So by adding functionality support to deal all this, you are increasing the capability of your system. So initially the client may have told, I just want the doctors and patients, and then if you can add other things and make the system into the group, the medium scale. And if you are more enthusiastic, it's good to do a little bit more and come, because you will get a better grade at the end. Because if you just do a minimum level, you will pass with the minimum C plus or whatever. But then if you get a or a B grade, then you have a chance of ending up a class and a good result. So this will help you